Looking for the perfect hidden gem for your next night out? Welcome to Almost on the Lake, where the food is delicious. The service is top-notch. And the atmosphere feels like home. Family-owned and locally loved. Come see why everyone is talking about Almost on the Lake.
Nestled in the heart of historic downtown Wilkesboro, the 1915 offers a wedding experience like no other. Once a federal courthouse and post office, the 1915 combines rich history with timeless charm. From intimate gatherings to full-day rentals, we provide the perfect backdrop for your most cherished moments. With indoor and outdoor options, bridal and groom suites, every detail is crafted just for you. Make your wedding unforgettable at the 1915, Wilkesboro's historic wedding venue, where your story begins.
Everybody knows Roselli's on 10th for the best authentic pizzas and pasta dishes in the region. But the real magic happens when you ask for the off-menu specials. That's when John steps out from behind the line, flashes that grin and says, "What are you in the mood for tonight? Fresh seafood over linguine? A steak cooked exactly how Granny Roselli would? Maybe the legendary veal chop parmesan nobody else dares to make? Tell John what you're craving. He'll create something incredible just for you. Because after a long week, you've earned it." Roselli's on 10th, 211 10th Street in North Wilkesboro. Come in, call, or order online at rosellisOn10thnc.com. Roselli's on 10th, where dinner becomes personal.
Closed captions for this episode of Life in Wilkes is brought to you by Deal Insurance Agency in Wilkesboro, an award-winning, experienced, family-owned and operated agency with service and coverage that goes above and beyond expectations. Join us on a captivating journey as we explore the charm, history, and vibrant culture of Wilkes County. Discover the hidden gems, inspiring stories, and remarkable people that make Wilkes a place worth knowing and celebrating. Join us now and experience the unique essence of Life in Wilkes.
Well, hello, Steve Critz. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing great, Carl. Thank you for having me back again.
Well, you're welcome. You know, we've got a few things we're going to chat about today. You guys have a big award, but before we get to that, you had a great adventure traveling parts of the world you had never been in before, and you were sending me pictures, so you kept me looped in to the activities, and it was incredible. We'll talk about that after we talk about the award for Benton Hall, Wilkes Playmakers. But my gosh, that was an incredible experience, wasn't it?
Carl, the only way I can describe it is it was the adventure of a lifetime. It's something that I've always wanted to do. Didn't think I'd ever do it.
Right.
And if anybody ever thinks they want to do it, let me tell you, you need to go.
Yeah,
it's fascinating.
You know, I've always had an issue with the notion of bucket list, merely because sometimes you either don't live long enough to do it, or you live longer than you're able to do the adventures. It's like if you got a big plan and you want to do it and you want something, you want to have a great experience, you know, just seize the moment, right?
Yeah. And that's basically what I did.
Yeah, well, I think it's great, and we're going to leave that there, and we're going to pick it up in a few minutes. But something that just happened for the Wilkes Playmakers, well, the thing I really want to talk about to get the show kicked off after that little teaser about your trip around the world is recognition that the Wilkes Playmakers just received from the North Carolina Society of Historians for their preservation work that was done on Benton Hall. It's absolutely amazing. You and I have talked about that renovation process of which you were intimately involved with. But to be officially recognized by the North Carolina Society of Historians, I mean, talk about that. Is that important? Was that a special moment for you and the board?
Oh, yes, Carl. I can't even describe how thrilled we are to get that award. And, we started that project in the late 90s, and we did preserve a historic building. But this is the first time we've been recognized for that. And it's really special, very, very special to get that recognition. And we got a beautiful certificate, and we'll have a plaque made to put on the building. So it's a great honor, really, to be recognized by the North Carolina Society of Historians.
Well, I think it's great. Let's talk about that just for a moment, about the building and now being in a officially recognized
yes.
historic place. We've talked about this in previous shows, but let's talk about this for just a moment, because I think it's important. Even in this holiday season that we're in now, to be able to spend time in a historic building. I know there are all those creaks and things you have to deal with, right? But putting that aside, just being in history, does that carry a special place in your heart and mean something a little bit extra to the people on the board, knowing, hey, we're here in something that means something historically?
Oh, absolutely. Because it was a school building.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've said before, it started out being the North Wilkesboro School, and it had 11 grades, mm-hmm. which is all they had back in 1900s, early 1900s. But later on, it became an elementary school. And so the fact that there were children in that building and noise and laughter and kids running around and just, having a big time, but also education, you can still feel it in the building. Mm. And I don't think that building could have really, it could have been, but I think it's a perfect thing for it to be a community arts center where the community comes. And there's life in that building. So that means a lot to us than us just, having a stage somewhere in a storefront.
Sure.
So it's a very special building. It's a beautiful building. And we're so thrilled that we've been able to keep it running and that we have a lot of activity there. And we do quality shows.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I've certainly enjoyed some shows there this year and can't wait to see what you've got coming up in 2026.
Yes.
I understand there's some highly entertaining, thought-provoking, emotional, hilarious shows.
Absolutely.
Coming up.
Yes.
I want to go to all the hilarious shows.
Okay. All right.
That's a good thing. All right. Well, I thought we started the show off right, because celebrating your celebration and your recognition with this esteemed organization that has been around a long time. So
yes.
You were in the room. I think we just wanted the thought. So being in the room with all of those other people who do historic things, as you were listening and watching, were you a bit in awe that all of those people are doing something with their lives that help preserve our history, celebrate our history? The Historian of the Year had an amazing, academic career and has done all sorts of great things. But was that particular fact something that your table recognized and were wowed a little bit by?
Yes, absolutely. And to be surrounded by all those historians was just fantastic, But they're everyday people just like the rest of us,
sure.
And very personal people. But to hear the things that they did and what their lives have been dedicated to and research that they've done for books they've written and other organizations, it's just, it's inspiring to be there. And it was the court the old courtroom was just packed. It was packed.
It was absolutely packed. John Roselli and his crew handled the catering for the event, and I think we had to call 2 times to increase the number of meals because the attendance just kept growing and growing and growing. Mm-hmm. And well, anyway, I think it was a really great event. So
something that kind of gave me chills was I forget his name, but he wrote a book, and it's called The Tannery, and it took place in Wilkes County. And the courtroom, he said, a lot of this book is about the courtroom. And he said it was in this very courtroom that we're talking about in his book. So that was cool.
Yeah, I thought the location was perfect. As you just mentioned, that was the old courthouse.
The Heritage Museum.
That's right. It was the old courthouse. Now it's the Heritage Museum, which is alive every day.
Yes.
Celebrating the history of the region and of Wilkes County. And I think that's pretty darn special.
It's a very unique museum. It's beautiful the way it's been restored. It in itself is a historic place, and I'm just very proud of that museum. Yeah. I think all Wilkes Countyans should be, and it's somewhere you want to take your friends and family when they come to visit.
And it's a quality experience.
It's a good museum.
Every aspect of history in the county is there, so you can go to this room and see everything about the industry of the time. You can go to this section, you can learn all about the moonshine area. You go to another section, learn about the Native American presence. You go to another area and you learn about Daniel Boone's presence. All of these things are
NASCAR
there.
And everything.
That's right. It's all there. So it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So now that we've celebrated our history here, let's talk about this amazing trip. You had mentioned to me that you were going on this trip, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months ago. Several months had passed since your excitement was shared, and then you went. And I really appreciate you sending me notes, and I did not have to ask too many times, what are you doing now? But I was struck by one picture that you sent when you first got there. And they put you in this great hotel, grand hotel, with all the people involved with the trip. And there was a wedding going on.
Yes.
And from your balcony, you got to participate. You got to crash a wedding, and it was cool because you had no choice.
It was a very special wedding. It was. This was in Amman, Jordan, where we started, and it was a princess of some kind, getting married there, and it was unbelievable. But just as a side note, the day I was there, I got on the elevator with a very tall African American guy, and he said, hello, how are you? And we exchanged that, and I said, are you here to go on a tour? Now, how cheesy is that?
Right.
And he said, no, excuse me. He asked where I was from. I told him North Carolina, United States. And I said, how about you? And he said, Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, nice. And I said, are you here to go on a tour? Thinking that he might be going on the same tour that I was on. He said, no, we're here to entertain. And he said, I'm Michael Jackson's brother, and I'm one of the Jackson brothers.
Wow.
And he said, we're here for a private concert. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and his name was, I think, is it Tito? I think. Yeah. And just very friendly. Well, anyway, I said, well, where is the concert? And he said, well, it's private. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, okay, well, he's singing here in the hotel somewhere. And I kept running into him. Every time I was going up and down the elevator, in the lobby, breakfast, whatever, I kept running into him. And he's such a nice guy.
So had you remembered each other's names by that time? Did he know you as Steve and you knew him as his
name? He didn't know me, but I knew him.
Right, okay.
And anyway, the wedding that you're talking about is a wedding where they sang.
Oh, my gosh.
And the reception. So,
how much time I mean, the balcony shot, you said, right there it is. So you were like, I was like, Steve has crashed his first wedding abroad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the concert was a private concert in a ballroom. It wasn't part of that.
Right.
So, and I didn't know where that was.
Right.
And I didn't go looking for it.
Right.
But I wish I had.
What a great adventure. So that was just your first time. Well, let's back up real quick so people can follow. So this was a 3-week cruise extravaganza, but it was a different type of an experience package. Tell us what you actually went on and why you chose that particular type of travel package from an experience standpoint.
Well, it's a tour company called Overseas Adventure Travel. Mm-hmm. Been around since the 70s, I think.
Right.
And they call them OAT, O-A-T. And went on a trip to China in 2018, I think it was, a 3-week trip. And it was with the same company, with OAT. And it was incredible. I just loved them. They all stayed in, 5-star hotels, excellent food. Tour guide stayed with us the whole time, English speaking. We just saw so much, and they explained so much, But one of the things they do is they want you to understand the culture of the people, and they have people that come to little seminar-like things that are local people. Mm-hmm. When we were in China, they had someone come and talk that had lived during the dictator Mao, mm-hmm. and all the awful things that he did, and they weren't afraid to talk about it now, right. Even though it's still a communist country, but it's not the same, and talked about the revolution and all that.
You were talking about history.
Yeah, so we talk about history, but we go into families' homes and have dinner with them, and they break us up into 4 to 6.
So you did that on this last trip too?
And we did it on the last trip. Right. We do a thing called Day in the Life, where we went to a man and his family who live on the Nile, and their life and how the women cook in ovens outdoors.
Did you say they lived on the Nile River?
Yes.
Wow, the one in the Bible?
The one in the Bible.
Wow. So that's that. To me, when I've traveled abroad, it was that experience of walking literally in the steps of historic people.
Yes.
And thinking about that. I always thought about that's what excited me about it. So it sounds like this is an immersion type of a journey you were on.
Yes.
So you're really getting to meet people.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
With all the fear that goes on now about people of different parts of the world or different faith practices, as you were going through that journey of meeting these folks, seeing how people live, being in their home, and wowed by the history of it all. Mm-hmm. when you step into a home here and it's 50 years old or 150 years old, that's one thing. But you literally were in coliseums that were thousands of years old.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And talk about that for a minute. How seeing that, experiencing it, hearing the stories from the people there, and then the interaction you had with your travel mates. That talk about that for a moment.
We said sit a seat in the Coliseum. So in Jordan, we went to a Roman ruins, so to speak, which is considered the second best Roman ruins in the world next to Rome. Mm-hmm. And it's in Jordan, right outside of Amman, and it's called Jeresh. Mm-hmm. And beautiful ruins, still standing, columns, the entry into the city. But their Colosseum is still there,
right?
Just like it was, and it's carved into a mountain. So it's a semicircle built, out of the mountain. And I sat in the seat, and so you sit in that seat and you just think back to, 2,000 years or more, and who sat there,
right?
And, and here you are sitting in that same seat and thinking about what we don't really think about the Romans, but they did control that area at one time. So
were you struck by the scale of things? Because
yes,
one of the pictures you sent, several of them, I appreciate you doing this. There were people in the foreground, you were in the foreground, and you had a sense of scale and how massive those blocks that you set on were. Yeah. There was no modern machinery that we have today that made that. No. Right? This is an entirely different building system that required a lot of muscle, right?
Yeah. But back to your question. So the interesting thing was, there hasn't been any tourism in that area of the world for almost 2 years since the Israeli attack and the Palestinians. But that's all kind of calming down now, and so that they're opening up tourism. They were so glad to see tourists back.
Sure.
But they told us from the very beginning that the people will come up to you and want to take their pictures with you because they love Americans. And they also love Caucasians just because we're different, because they're dark skin, dark eyes, dark hair. And to see a white person, particularly if you have blue eyes, I can't meet that, but I think the white hair.
Right.
But they just love, and we dress differently and that kind of thing. We're taller, that kind of stuff. And they would come up and they would just say, picture.
Right.
And, and then they would just stand there real quick, and then their friend would, take their picture, and then they would just go. And they would
they weren't asking for money for that.
No, and they weren't trying to pick your pocket.
Right.
They just want their picture made with you. But they would say, in broken English, where are you from, and I'd say United States, and they'd say where, and I'd say North Carolina, and they kind of knew where it was. And so back to the family, the Coptic people that we had dinner with, I said, where would you like to go in the United States if you ever been? They said no. And I said, do you hope to come someday? And they said yes. And I said, where do you want to go? Guess where they want to go? Disney World.
Disney World.
So I said, there's a lot more to it.
Right. Isn't it funny how certain iconic things have an impact on how people think from all over the world, right?
But
could they stay at your house? Would you open your house up for guests?
I would. I mean, it's somebody that had been vetted.
I don't mean the entire race of people.
Now the people that we had dinner with, absolutely.
Sure.
He was an accountant. His wife was a school teacher. They had 3 children. We had dinner with all of them.
This sounds like normal life.
Yeah. And when you went in, so everybody lives in a high rise in Cairo. It's just high rises. And the streets, probably are 20 feet wide, and it's just, they're kind of dark because no sunlight can get in. But that's the way they live. And I don't know where they park their cars, but I mean, traffic is crazy there. There's no traffic lights, speed limits, anything. It's just go. But anyway, back to that.
I think Wilkes County used to be like that.
You went into their apartment. It was very spacious. They're like homes. They're not really apartments. But you walk into the dining room. That's the center of the house. Is the dining room.
I love that.
Both when we were in Amman and also in Cairo. It was interesting. I made comment later. I said, y'all notice that we always walked into the dining room. And of course the kitchen's off of that, and then their family room and bedrooms and things. But their houses look you felt like you're in a house. It looks very similar to what we have. Of course, their moldings on the wall and pictures and things like that, their furniture is different, but it's basically what we live, how we live.
Wow. You were in Egypt, right?
Yes.
I saw you with big pyramids.
Yes.
Talk about that. Had you ever seen that before?
No.
Okay.
No. So, yes, we went to the pyramids at Giza, which is what everybody sees, and the Sphinx. There's also pyramids in another location that were the original pyramids and I think I sent you a picture of that. But
you did.
They were made from mud bricks, and the pharaoh who built those, they were the very first pyramids. He wanted to build this pyramid, and had his architects at the time figure it out so it would be perfect, and they built it, but it wasn't. So it wasn't.
Wasn't perfect.
It wasn't 4 equal sides. It went at the same angles and everything. So he would tell them to rebuild it, so they would kind of build around it to kind of square it up. And they had to do it 3 times till they finally got it. But the pyramid is still standing.
To this day?
To this day, yeah.
So you saw it. Were you able to go in it? Or what
not that one, but one next to it. Mm-hmm. And we did go in it, and I think I sent you pictures of that.
You did.
And you go in, like a little tunnel. You have to kind of keep your head down. And we went in it pretty far into the middle of it, and then it opened up. And then in this one, the tomb part was like way down, like about 3 stories down.
Right.
Was that. But, and they had a rail around it. We could look down in it. But there are steps and other ways to get down to the bottom of it. Mm-hmm. But we did go in that. So that was cool.
So when you were there, I mean, what were you, that sensory experience of going into the pyramids? I mean,
oh, gosh.
Talk about that. How did that, what did you feel? What was that?
Like, when we started going in it and, you're in it and you're just suddenly like, dang, I'm in a 4,000-year-old pyramid, still standing.
Right.
That, pharaohs went in and their whole belief at the afterlife and that whole thing is so different. But that was what they believed in, and that's what these pyramids are all about, and their tombs.
Right.
But it was surreal. Mm. It was like, wow.
Did you have a lot of moments of just stopping and just looking and
yes.
just taking it all in?
Mm-hmm. Particularly when we were in the tombs. Like when we were going through that pyramid, we were kind of all lined up and, we just had to keep moving.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to stop and take a picture. But when we were in the tombs, which are different down in the Valley of the Kings, in the tombs, there was places where you could stop and take pictures. And, we weren't like in and out, so you could kind of wander in, do your thing. And yes, and to be in there and to see those hieroglyphics and the artwork that's still preserved and beautiful, actually, and you're just right at it. And
did you get a glance of Indiana Jones or something like that?
I didn't see him.
No, or somebody that you think, wait a minute, they're exploring, they're gonna do something.
They have done a very, very nice job there for you to be able to enter these temples and tombs and things. Mm-hmm. They put in wooden floors so you're not walking on, very uneven rock.
Right.
And handrails and that type of thing. But they get very close to the walls, but there's about a 3-foot gap, so you can't really reach out and touch it, right? Or anything. But people were very respectful. I was glad to see that.
So did you sense, I understand respectful, that idea, but could it have been also, or was it for you, not just respect, but just a profound sense of awe?
Absolutely. To look at that and to think, it's just, they go from right to left, and just, our guide had tried to teach us how to read that and kind of pick up some things. Mm-hmm. But just to look at it and the detail of it and how much of it. I mean, we're talking about going all the way in to these tombs. I don't know, probably the length of a football field or 3/4 of a length to get in it. And then when you're inside it, when you get to the tomb part, so there's different rooms in the tomb. That's where, of course, the mummy was, but also other rooms where his artifacts and things to get him to the afterlife were stored. And the lighting they have in there and stuff so you can see it. But to see that and look at it and you think, oh my goodness, it's just, I can't really describe it. It's just, it's awe-inspiring, and it's...
you were there for 3 weeks, right?
About 3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks. That was for the whole journey.
The whole journey.
So, being on the Nile, I think that's pretty cool. And then the pyramids are incredible. Were there other moments that you were in awe by?
Oh, yes. One of the things is, I don't know if you've read about it, but they just opened what's called the Grand Egyptian Museum. Mm-hmm. And they've been working on that for 20 years.
Right.
They have artifacts in there and statues, sarcophagus, treasures that have not been on display before. Some of the things had been on display in the Cairo Museum, but it's an old museum, and it wasn't really a good place to display these things. Some of the things, there's a statue of Ramses, which I think I may have sent that to you, and I think it's about 20 or 25 feet tall.
Yeah, he was a really tall guy.
He was. And he was going to war.
Yeah.
If any of the pictures that you ever look of a statue of anything from Egypt, if their left foot is out, that means they're going to war. They're a fighter.
Okay.
So, just look at that. It's interesting to see. Very seldom would you see them with their feet together. So that was one of the things. But to go in that museum, which was just opened, that statue of Ramses, they put the statue in it before they built the museum around it. You know, some of these things, some of the things that are in there, they put in there before they built it. But it's beautiful, and it's at the pyramids. So the Cairo Museum is downtown Cairo, but the Grand Egyptian Museum is there at the pyramids, and part of the structure of it is that at one end is a pyramid, and you look out the window and there are the pyramids. So it's at the pyramids.
Wow.
And you know where the things came from, a lot of the treasure.
Do experiences like this and your personal experience, does it change the way or broaden the way you look at the world and look at humanities?
Yes. You know, I think the thing that we saw so much in Egypt is people knew who we were. I mean, we're all together. We got a guide with a thing. You know,
right.
You see that. So they knew who we were. But as they would walk by, they would look at us and they would put their hand over their heart and do that. Like, we love you, you know?
Yeah.
And so we learned to do it back. Or sometimes they'd be looking at us and I would do that.
Right.
And it was like this universal, you know, signal of love and nice. And it was just, we saw that so much where we went.
Did you feel like that was genuine?
Absolutely. I was glad to see that the Muslims and the Christians lived together there without any conflict. And although they're not such a small percentage is Christian, but they have no problem with that. There's also a synagogue or two around. But now think about that. So, but yeah, so, you know, we experienced the Cairo culture, the city life. Our hotel was right on the Nile, beautiful hotel. And we all had views of the Nile from our rooms, which was just a great company.
Yeah. Nice.
But from there, we flew down to Luxor.
Okay.
And Luxor is on the Nile, and that is where the Valley of the Kings is, and a lot of the temples. The Nile River was their I-95. It went, you know, all their trade. It was up and down.
Did you cruise down, or did you?
So when we got to Luxor, we cruised from Luxor.
What was that cruise like? What kind of?
Well, we were on a river boat, which is kind of like a river ship that they have in Europe, you know, when you go down the Danube.
Sure.
So they're about 3 stories high. They can't be much higher than that because you have to go into the bridges there. But
what was that experience like?
Oh, wonderful. That was my favorite part. There was a lady on our cruise. This was her 6th time. She just loved it. She loves the ship, and she loves Egypt, and she knew the people on the ship.
How was the food and the entertainment?
Excellent. Entertainment was local, which was fun. So people in the area would come on board.
And you would hear their music, right? You'd hear that's great.
And twice we saw, I guess, whirling dervish. Do you know what they are?
I do.
And
but you illustrate it so everybody watching.
Well, I won't illustrate it, but I will describe it. It's a part of that culture. I think it started in Turkey, but they have a certain dress that they wear. When I say dress, men and women, and they start twirling, and they just turn and get faster and faster, and they do all these things. I don't know how somebody can do that without falling over, but they do it, and I think it puts them in like a trance of some type, and it's a spiritual dance. And
what's it called again?
a whirling dervish.
Oh, that's fantastic. That'd get your balance fixed, right?
Yeah.
maybe,
But anyway.
Maybe some whirling balance exercise techniques can be inspired. You could teach the class. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I love hearing these stories, and I think we talked actually on the phone for a few of those times, but mostly it was by text. You were sending pictures, but I could sense you were enjoying the people and what you were seeing.
Oh yeah, the people in our group, we all became a family just within a couple of hours.
And was it a big group or a small?
Our group was 19. So our trip was Cairo, then a week down the Nile, and then we flew back to Cairo. Spent 3 more days in Cairo to see the other set of pyramids, the grand ones,
right? And
experienced that. Rode the camels and did all that.
How'd you like that? How'd you like that camel ride?
I did not like it at all.
Really?
I don't recommend it to anyone.
Did you? I've ridden a camel before. Did you?
I did it for the picture.
Did you? Yeah, I think I asked you. Make sure you ride a camel. Did you smell like a camel when you got off?
No. The camels didn't stink. But there's no stirrups, and you get up on that thing, and you're just kind of holding on to the saddle, whatever.
It's a workout on your calves.
And you're just holding, and you're trying to press. Poor old Campbell. I think I smothered him trying to hold on to him.
Right.
But it was not fun. And it was going to be a 20-minute ride, and I'd ridden about 15 minutes. I had enough.
Yeah.
And I told the guy, I said, I'm ready to get off.
Right.
I was feeling like I was coming off of this thing, and I think I got on the front of it too. I was leaning too much towards the front.
Maybe the organization needs to send everybody a video of exercises that they do before they ride the camel. But you had the experience.
But I had the experience, and I can laugh about it now. But it was like, if you fell off, you were going to fall on rock. I mean, there's rocks everywhere.
Right.
It wasn't sand; it was rocks.
Well, you had a dentist in the group, so if you broke your tooth, you'd be fine. But I don't know if you can fix a bone or not. My goodness. Well, Steve, this sounds like such a great thing. I can tell that you were excited when you came back, but do you feel like you've changed just a little bit from having that cultural experience?
Yes, I do. I do. More tolerant, which I need to be.
More tolerant. More and that came
more open-minded,
and that came just by being aware of a new surroundings and the people and that human people aren't very different anywhere, are they?
Right.
Do you think they are? Do you think people around the people you encountered and engaged with when you look at the family life and regular life, where of course there are different cultures and different things, different things, but people are pretty much people everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, it's their nucleus of their family, their church, whatever the religion is very important to them.
Right.
And, they want to eat. They want shelter.
They like entertainment.
Right. Social. They're very social people. Very, very social.
Right.
In their own right. And, it's all the same.
Right. I love that. Well, that's great, Steve. Well, I'm sure that in the future you'll have more exciting travels, even though you said that was a travel of a lifetime. I can't help but to imagine when you get that experience, a taste of finding the humanities human.
Yes.
And not scary. I think that kind of lets us want to know more, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. Now, physically, it was called a medium. About how there's easy, medium, and challenging. I think are the 3 terms. And this was a medium
for the cruise,
for everything.
For everything.
So it wasn't anything. Very, very strenuous.
So,
and I was thankful for that.
So you're going to do Are you going to try to do level 3? Are you?
No.
So you're going to be between 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
I'm past that, but it was wonderful. Right. I just said, and people think, wasn't it hot? Yeah, it was. It was 90 to 100.
But dry heat, right?
But it's dry heat. it wasn't that hot.
Right.
I mean, it was tolerable.
Oh, that's such a great adventure, my friend. I know that it was great to see you. Glad you made it back home. Glad that the Wilkes Playmakers received recognition for their preservation work at Benton Hall. And I know 2025 is going to have a lot of adventures for you and for Benton Hall and all the plays that we have coming up. Wait a minute, 2026.
Yes,
Did I say
yes,
25?
yes. So I'm going to let a couple teasers out there.
Yeah. You got, okay. All right. Things coming up?
Yes. So
We all have won a trip to
in the spring,
Egypt.
we're doing Pride and Prejudice,
Pride and Prejudice,
which is going to be an awesome play.
okay,
And then
at the
we'll
Wilkes Playmakers.
Yes, in Benton Hall. And in July is the 25th anniversary of Tom Dooley. And so we'll be doing it again, and we're going to have some special things for that. And then our big excitement is that our Christmas show in 2026, which is next Christmas, our Christmas show will be The Wizard of Oz.
Wow, the
And
Wizard
that is
of
something
Oz.
that the Playmakers have done 3 times, sold out every time.
Right.
And so Karen Reynolds, is back with our organization, and we're so thankful to have her.
Yeah.
And she will be doing The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that's fantastic. It was great seeing her at the celebration Saturday with the historians. She's such an incredibly talented person, isn't she?
She is.
Yes. All right. Well, in true form, you've traveled around the world a bit. Usually it's in the Carolinas, an island, but you brought back some of your adventures. But now it's back to work to entertain people in the Carolinas, here specifically in Wilkes County at Wilkes Playmakers. Steve, we're glad to call you a friend, and we're awfully proud of the people at Wilkes Playmakers for the great work.
Oh, thank you, Carl.
You're welcome. Good
And
to
by
see
the
you.
way, you got an award.
I did.
Can we talk about that real quickly?
Sure. I received, in 2018, I was Historian of the Year for North Carolina Society of Historians, which was really a neat thing. And that actually happened. They were in Wilkes County then, and it was at the Stone Center.
Yeah.
So it was a grand experience there. And then over the years, a few other things. But the Lighthouse Award, to me, was a really nice thing. And I really appreciated that, because that goes to people who are shining a light on the aspects of history that we shouldn't forget, or just history in general. But what I enjoyed most about that recognition, because at the event I had family there, and my niece and both of them, my brother, and just it was a nice family time. And my niece wrote a very nice compliment and about the lighthouse, and I have to tell you, I was emotional when I read it. I was tired. It was in the den. I was in my recliner, but it pops up and I read it. And that was my biggest award of the day, because she said that throughout her life that I had been her steadfast lighthouse, and other words that she put in there. But that was pretty darn emotional for me. So I think that recognition in all the forms that I received at that day was special indeed.
Yeah. Well, Carl, you're a lighthouse to everybody that knows you, but you've been a lighthouse to the Carolinas.
Yeah.
But now you are the lighthouse of Wilkes County. And you have promoted Wilkes County and tried so hard to preserve the history here. And thank you.
Wow.
For being that lighthouse as well.
Well, thank you, Steve. Those are awfully kind words, and we appreciate you and your family and your new Egyptian ways you brought back home. I can't. We'll have to. All right, we'll have to cue the.
There'll be a picture, I'm sure, that he'll post of we had a dress-up night. On the cruise the last night, people dressing up like Egyptians,
and you were,
and so I pulled at the end of the bed. They have these pieces of material that match, and they use that material all through the boat. And I just took it off the bed and put it around my head, and I looked pretty good. It was fun. Oh my
I
God.
love that. Seize the moment, friends. Seize the moment. Oh my God. Tim's going to be wanting us to go do a Life in the Carolinas segment in Egypt, and I can just see it now. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks a lot, buddy. Good to see you again.
All right. Thank you, Carl.
Great. Oh my God.
Thank you for spending time with us on Life in Wilkes. We value you as a viewer and appreciate when you share the show with your friends and family. Be sure to bookmark our channel and join us again on the next episode of Life in Wilkes.